Great, thank you, and welcome everybody to the City of Pasadena. I am Vice Mayor Felicia Williams, and we are proud to be here with investing communities in the county and Kaiser Permanente. We will have 3 speakers speak this morning, and then we will open it up for Q&A. And the first speaker I would like to introduce is our Mayor, Victor Gordo.
Thank you, everyone. Let me first welcome, you've heard from Vice Mayor Felicia Williams. Let me welcome my colleague, Gene Masuda, on the Pasadena City Council. I'd like to first thank Kaiser Permanente for working with us in partnership with the County of Los Angeles to do the right thing and bring services to a community that desperately needs services. Kaiser did not need to work with us. Kaiser was well on its way to disposing of this property, but took the time to listen to the supervisor, to the city, to me, and recognized very quickly that the right thing to do with this property was to keep it in service for benefit of the public. And so thank you to Kaiser. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your friendship. And thank you for the property. And checks in the mail. I'd also like to commend Supervisor and thank our Supervisor, Kathryn Barger. You know, it was at lightning speed that Supervisor Barger not only recognized the opportunity to bring to this property health and mental health services, but also housing and economic development opportunities. Imagine in your mind's eye this property having retail along Lake Avenue, mental health services that are desperately needed, particularly post the pandemic. Going into the pandemic, we were already down 48% in terms of clinicians needed to serve the public. Health services that, again, are desperately needed in this community. So imagine your mind's eye the retail possibilities for economic development, the health and mental health services that could be provided here. And then, of course, we could mix in office space for the county and for the city together with affordable housing. That's precisely what the specific plan imagined in this part of the city. The specific plan has been in place for 30 years and it hasn't happened. And so now, in partnership with the county, we are going to make an investment in this part of our city on North Lake Avenue and bring forward desperately needed services to the people that we represent. So I'd like to thank Supervisor Barger and our county team, Kaiser, my colleagues on the city council, and congratulate all for a job well done. This is the beginning of a journey to do the right thing at this property and for the residents of Pasadena and the 5th Supervisorial District, and I look forward to being a part of it. Let's keep one other thing in mind. This is also a neighborhood improvement project. On the way in, I spoke with a resident who said, "Hey, what's going on here?" And I explained all of the things that I just talked about and reminded him, but it will also improve your neighborhood. And he said, "Thank you, that's great." So above and beyond all of the services and housing that will be provided here and jobs, it's also going to improve this neighborhood tremendously. And so we should all be proud of that as well. I see that my colleague Jason Lyon has just arrived and would like to welcome him as well. Thank you. Next, I'll introduce our supervisor who moves at lightning speed, so keep your eye on her, Supervisor Kathryn Barger.
When I listen to all the different services we're going to be providing here, I always tell people with Mayor Gordo, it's go big or go home. And it's been an honor to work with the city of Pasadena on this project. And actually, this has moved at lightning speed. We saw an opportunity here to purchase this facility, and I will say that oftentimes when you want to do that, you have to say, spend well over what is necessary. Kaiser has truly been a partner, recognizing the value of this in the community. And I want to recognize the fact that the city of Pasadena, they are in a unique situation. They have their own public health department, and they're also a continuum of care, which means that they get money directly from the federal government as it relates to housing and issues surrounding homelessness. The county partnering with them is going to be able to leverage our resources to bring to this community services that are needed, not only in the city of Pasadena, as we've been talking about. This is going to be a model throughout Los Angeles County, and I truly am honored to be a partner doing this. Mental health services especially have come under a lot of scrutiny as it relates to the lack of services throughout the entire county. This is going to build capacity in an area that is already underserved, but not just with mental health, but also health services. So it's going to be a holistic place for people to come and get support. In addition to housing, I'm excited about that. I have to say that Pasadena is probably #1 as it relates to bringing projects forward for affordable housing. That is unique in LA County, and I will say that when we had our last round of applications, City of Pasadena arguably could have wiped out our entire amount of money that we had because they are so ambitious and receptive to bringing affordable housing on stock. So I am excited to see what is going to come out of this this facility. Just on a short note, my father stayed at Villa Gardens right down the street here, so I am very familiar with the location here and how valuable it was when Kaiser had it for the clinics that it had. And I know that when the community sees what we're going to do and we get the renderings going, they are going to embrace this and recognize that this is just one more way, collaborating both with the city of Pasadena and with the county of Los Angeles. And thank you to Kaiser. We are going to bring to this community the resources that they deserve. So with that, I'd like to invite John Yamamoto from Kaiser Permanente's Vice President of Community Health and Government Relations to say a few words. John?
On behalf of Kaiser Permanente, it's an honor to join Mayor Victor Gordo, Supervisor Barger, members of Pasadena City Council to share in this special announcement. Kaiser Permanente provides high-quality, affordable health care to nearly 5 million patients and members throughout Southern California, including over 20% of the population of Los Angeles County, of whom about 70,000 of them receive their care in the city at our Pasadena medical office on Foothill Boulevard. But as a nonprofit healthcare organization, our social mission goes beyond providing coverage and care to our patients. It also entails working with community partners, both public sector and private sector, in collective efforts to improve the health of the communities we serve, including this city. This city of Pasadena is a special place for Kaiser Permanente. It's the home of our regional headquarters, our medical offices on Foothill Boulevard, and most recently, the Kaiser Permanente Bernard J. Tyson School of Medicine. And this place here used to be the site of a medical office where many Pasadenans and others came for their care, including me. So we are very pleased that this property will once again play an important part in improving the lives of local residents through this partnership between the city of Pasadena and the county of Los Angeles. Expanding mental health services, increasing affordable housing, supporting educational opportunities that open the door to good jobs and economic opportunity. These are the factors that are critical to improving health, well-being, and equity in this community so that all individuals have the opportunity to thrive. And innovative collaborations like this one are bright examples of how local governments and private players can work together to address our community's most pressing needs. So we applaud Mayor Gordo and Supervisor Barger and their respective dedicated staffs for reaching this important milestone today. And we look forward to seeing the activation of this site, and we look forward to continued collaboration in the future. Thank you.
Let me just say, we can't highlight enough how groundbreaking this is in terms of a model that should be replicated, and I believe will be replicated, not just throughout the county of Los Angeles, but throughout the state and beyond. This is how county government, city government, and private industry should be working together to meet the very desperate need of mental health and health services. So I'm excited about the opportunity to model and set the standard for providing services that are desperately needed in our community, together with the county and together with our private industry partners. Felicia Williams.
that concludes our program. Right now, we will go to questions and answers. Thank you.
This used to be the site of a medical office building where we provided care to the local residents. I don't recall exactly when we moved, but we moved to the medical office building on Foothill Boulevard many years ago. So this property has been vacant, and we've been looking for an opportunity for a good use, and we're really pleased that the city and county have come together.
Well, I'll let the supervisor speak for the county, but in Pasadena, we're excited about rebounding from the pandemic. It finally feels like the worst of the pandemic, and hopefully the worst time that we'll ever have to experience as individuals or a community, are now in our rearview mirror. And so together with my colleagues, I'm excited about the future of Pasadena. I think projects like this we could have undertaken a few years ago, but we were in the midst of a terrible pandemic and had to take the time to ensure that we came out stronger at the other end of the pandemic. And I think this project and others like it are clear evidence that the city is coming out stronger. My colleagues are very focused on ensuring that we do the work of providing services that are needed. And that's what this project is about. I suspect that we'll see more development along North Lake Avenue as the result of this project. If you look around this neighborhood, you'll see hundreds of senior living units and buildings. And so to have these services right here in the midst of so many seniors, but also offer services to those in northern Pasadena, all of Pasadena, including Altadena, is a tremendous, tremendous victory. One other thing that I'd like to point out is, at one point, and I suspect it's still to be the case, Pasadena and Altadena combined had the largest population of out-of-home placement individuals in the entire county of Los Angeles. So out-of-home placement, foster care, all sorts of out-of-home placement. That's an important population to serve. And again, this is an opportunity to serve individuals who need those services. When I say it was the largest population in all of LA County, you can imagine, given the size of LA County, that it must have also been the largest out-of-home placement population in the entire state of California. And so again, I applaud the supervisor for working with us to address the needs of all residents of Pasadena and the surrounding communities. Well, so when we talk about lightning speed, I think it was 2 weeks ago that we took the action to step in this direction. And so, that's unheard of. It's unheard of for any government, including local government and county government. And so when we say lightning speed, we meant getting to this point. Now with the details work, and we fully intend, and my colleagues last night at the city council meeting made clear that we want to see quick action, shovels in the ground, and doors opening sooner rather than later. And so we will sit down immediately with our staff and the supervisor and her respective staff and department heads to see how we can make that happen. We don't want to see this be a 5-year, 6-year project. The need is here for housing. The need is here for mental and health services. And so we have an opportunity to meet that need and do so quickly, and that's the goal.
But, there's opportunities to do P3s, public-private partnerships, working with the city, because this is a benefit to the entire community. P3s, public-private partnerships, a benefit to the community. So I see this happening very quickly. I mean, the hurdles usually are in acquiring the property, but now that we've acquired it, getting something out there in terms of a vision is what I think our next step's going to be, working with the city. And I see this happening very quickly because everyone is on board. I don't know that we've been that prescriptive in terms of how many housing units at this point. Have we?
85.
85 is what you're looking at?
80, about 80.
Yeah.
Approximately.
I mean, that level of detail the city's been driving, so.
We're going to go through the RFP process. request for proposals, and see what comes back to us. It's our job to set the table, so to speak, and it's the job of those in the business of developing housing, putting in place services. Just as I'm trying to make it a little more ambiguous, you give me a number. So it's our job to set the table as local elected officials and the local and county government. It's the job of the professionals who design and who develop housing and who bring services to a location like this to give us the specifics. David Reyes believes that we can get over 100 units, housing units, above and beyond the services, the retail services, and the office space needed to provide the mental and health services. And that's what's exciting. We're marrying various goals, and those goals are to meet very important needs of this community: housing, healthcare, mental health care, and economic opportunity. So that's what makes this unique. That's what makes this a model for other communities to work with the county. That's not the plan, Kaiser. I don't think that's Kaiser's model. I'll let Kaiser talk about that. But the plan is for the county and the city to work together.
We need more capacity, for mental health services, whether provided by Kaiser Permanente or anyone else. So I know that this project is more about a city and county collaboration. We haven't been in discussions with the city or the county about our services, but we do support the increase in access by increasing the committee capacity to provide those services.
Well, the goal is to streamline the process and really collaborate, and in this case, looking at streamlining as it relates to training as well, because we have a huge deficit of mental health experts and professionals. And so the goal is to make this also a place where we can, in fact, be like an incubator for mental health clinicians. But it's going to be unique. I don't know what model in LA County is currently in place that is going to look like this. But clearly, in terms of Pasadena having their own public health department, that creates a unique situation and actually gives them an opportunity to kind of take that portion of it. And then with the county working with mental health and collaborating with the city, we will probably be the lead because we have to provide the Medi-Cal funding and reimbursement. And so that's going to be in place as well. So it's going to be a kind of a marriage of two different types of services, but I'm confident that we're going to merge and make it work really well.
If I may take a shot at that as well, Steve. There are two, in my view, very unique aspects to this model. One, the co-locating of services at one site. I had a friend who I was trying to assist during the pandemic who was struggling with mental health needs, and I had to drive him to one clinic in one part of the county to access those mental health needs. For his health needs, the mental health clinic said, well, we can't treat that. You have to go somewhere else. And then there's the issue of, and I know that the supervisor is working hard on this, the issue that the mental health services would not also treat addiction issues. And so when someone presented dual diagnosis, mental health issues and substance issues, they had to provide them in two different departments. Our goal is to end that and bring it and model how we can co-locate those services right here at one facility so that people aren't having to go across the county to receive services that really need to be provided together. The second goal is, going into the pandemic, the state of California reported that there was a need for 48%. Well, there was the state needed 48% more clinicians. In other words, we were down 48% clinicians needed to meet the needs of Californians, Pasadenans, people throughout the state, mental health needs. 48% going into the pandemic. You can imagine how the need grew during the pandemic and the number of clinicians that may have retired or moved on to do something else with their life. And so it's our hope that this will also become a place where people are trained to be clinicians. They're trained to be professionals that will help people in their own community right here in Pasadena. And so that's part of the goal, and that too makes it unique. If you think in your mind's eye of LA County USC Keck Hospital, where it's both USC's training grounds for future doctors, and they're preparing future medical professionals as they serve the public. That's what I would like to see, and I think that's achievable here, to make it more of that working educational model that we need to address all aspects of the need.
As the mayor said, many families are struggling to find services, mental health services for their loved ones. So building a facility here that really addresses the needs of Pasadena is a model for the rest of the region. What are the needs out in Claremont? What are the needs in Palmdale and Lancaster? And you can build a facility that really addresses their needs, and the nonprofits can partner along with private entities like Kaiser to really serve the needs of the community. So this is special to me as well. This is right next to my district, and in dealing with a family member with severe mental health issues, this is really personal to me and makes a difference for me. Thank you.
Jason Lyon, Pasadena City Council, District 7, which is right down the road. This is right next door to my district as well. And I know we're here representing Councilmember Jess Rivas, who this is in her district. She is at home with a brand new baby, so wasn't able to join us today, but I know she is thrilled to move forward on this project, as we all are. I think Pasadena is uniquely situated for this partnership with the county because we have so many resources available to supply that training ground that we talked about. And so there are institutions in and around Pasadena that are looking for real-world clinical opportunities to provide care. And we will give them an opportunity to do that. So we have Cal State LA down the road, we have Pacific Oaks right here in town, and other institutions, and we will partner with those other partners in the community to provide care. And we are, I think as a council, unanimously and uniformly committed to making this a reality, and soon. So thank you.
This is such an honor to be here and to have this partnership with the LA County. So this is a big opportunity for mental health and residential units. So I thank you so much. We had a long discussion last night about some of the possibilities. We're still not there yet on what's going to be in definition, but we'll keep working on it. So thank you so much. Thank you, Kathryn Barger, for your work. Thank you, Mayor. And when they say, we were quite surprised ourselves how fast this went. So thank you all for being here and sharing this information with the rest of the world. Thank you.
I just have to say again, I mean, at the risk of repeating myself, Mayor Gordo came to the county. I mean, he talks that this is a county, this was your vision years ago. And during the pandemic, you cited the situation you had with a dear friend, really struggling to find care for someone that had some mental health issues and actually dual diagnosed. But this really is about a collaboration to benefit the community. And so I want the community to know that we are excited about this. We are investing in this community, in the city of Pasadena. I, for one, being from this area, believe in this city council. I want to thank you all because this truly has been a joy for me to work on. And I want to thank my staff as well as all the staff that put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this. So I'm excited to see what the future brings. Thank you.
We'll see you at the groundbreaking.
Yeah. See you at the groundbreaking.